broadly, when we're thinking about defining belief, this is another instance where it seems like most of us are going to have a pretty intuitive understanding of what a belief is. So, all of us have beliefs, all of us know kind of some of the beliefs that we hold, but it's a bit more difficult to try and give, a one sentence summary of, a belief is this. So here's a go that I had based on some of the kind of working literature that's out there. So a belief is an attitude towards some proposition which holds that it is true. So a proposition broadly is going to be some kind of statement that's kind of truth apt. So it can either be true or false. So for example, the proposition grass is green, um, you know, is describing the state of affairs in the world where there's something called grass and something called green, and grass has the property of being green. So what my belief is then is a relation between me and this proposition that suggests that some agent, think that the proposition is true. And working out what true means is going to be a different philosophical question, but we might think of it, broadly as something like, corresponding to the world. So the proposition, which is a kind of picture of how the world is accurately representing how the world actually is. So just to expand on that then, so to believe P is to be committed to the truth of P. So believing something is thinking that it's true. It's a kind of mental state or mental attitude towards some proposition P to say that that proposition is true. So hopefully that's something that kind of gives you a nice rigorous definition that you can apply to beliefs. Another thing that's worth noting here about what beliefs are comes from the philosopher Bernard Williams. So Williams is noted for saying that beliefs, quote, aim at the truth. So we're going to think about what this means in more detail in some coming lectures. But to start with, we might start by interpreting this as the idea that, if beliefs are functioning properly, then they're going to be true beliefs. So good beliefs are those beliefs which are true. And furthermore, we might want to say that, we're kind of instinctively drawn to believing what is true. It doesn't seem like we can kind of force ourselves to believe things that we don't think are true. It seems like if we think that something is true, that just is believing it. So there's some kind of interesting conceptual insight there. Another thing to know about belief is thinking about its relationships to other kind of epistemic phenomena. So one of the big concerns in epistemology is how we understand knowledge, and belief is often seen as a kind of important piece in that story. So specifically, belief has typically been interpreted as a kind of necessary and more basic component of knowledge. So knowledge is kind of a compound that is made up of various different components, and belief is one of those components. So it seems like most people are going to argue that you can't know something unless you believe it. It seems strange to say, I know that the earth is round, but I don't believe it. That seems like a very strange thing to say. And so belief is meant to be this more basic notion, the knowledge that we can kind of combine other things with in order to get knowledge.